Hey everyone, today I want to go over the home buying process. There's a lot that goes on, a lot of expectations are not usually met, and it's good to know before you get into it, what is the typical process. So I'm going to share with you what I do with each one of my clients just to make it easier for you. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, so bear with me. The first thing I'll send is a survey. The survey is there so I can really deeply understand what's important to you. So here we go over the geographical range, where it is that you want, what's your comfortable price range, bed, bathroom minimums, lot sizes, garage, any special features, time frame. Then I do a presentation. So I actually do a presentation. So I try to meet all the expectations that they have in all those questions beforehand. And then at the end, I get to ask them any questions. And I'll go through that. I'll actually do the presentation here. I give them feedback notes so that as they see homes and they start identifying what they like in a home, they can hand this back to me and we can refine it even better. So we'll go through here. We'll have them they'll fill that out. As they see the homes, this is a pre-approval, the process, what to expect, how to calculate your monthly payment. And then this is a quick timeline once we're under contract, what to be able to move forward with. So once they get these forms, I ask them to fill them out as much as they can. They send it back to me, and then I'll schedule a presentation that kind of shows them what the process is like. So this is the presentation, and I'll move myself over here. So we'll have this cover memo, and I'm going to actually move this one. Sorry, I usually move it here. Understanding the home buying process. So there's residential homes, townhomes, condos, investment properties, new construction. Each one of them are special. Some of them have extra fees, and some of them are, you don't know when they're going to be done with their construction, like some of the new construction. Now, understanding the market, the way that I operate, and I like to operate with everything, is as a consultant. That way you understand your options. I'll explain to you the pros, the cons, and maybe even what I don't know. And that way you can make a decision on what's most important for you and your family. I don't like the sales approach where I show you a home and try to close you on it. That's not the way that I operate, and I don't think anyone should. However, you should be given that freedom and know your options. Now, one of the most important things you need to know is who holds the negotiating power. In a typical buyer's market, that means that there's a lot of inventory. And with a lot of inventory, the buyers get to decide who's going to be buying it, which property they want. So when there's more than 7 months inventory, we're in a buyer's market. A neutral market is between 6 to 7 months of inventory. And a seller's market is anything under that 6 months of inventory. And we are currently in a seller's market in here late September 2021. Our current inventory is 2 months of inventory. So what I like to do also is to go pull up the median price and the list to sales ratio. And when you do this, you'll see that you will expect to pay 99.8% of asking. So we're almost at 100% asking. So if we pull up the median price, which is $505,000, and you multiply it by that, you're going to get $498,000 here in Miami-Dade. So when inventory goes down, that means that more people are competing. And when that competition keeps on going on and there's no inventory, that's when prices increase. So this is good for you to understand. So you know what you're getting yourself into. It's better for you to say, you know what, I'm going to hold off for now, then try to go into it and find out 10, 20 houses later that you're not going to be buying. Pre-approval. So a pre-approval is very good. The best thing is that it helps determine your range. So it gives you a little bit of stability there, and it turns you into a cash buyer. So if you know what you can offer, you can compete with those cash buyers. If you don't have anything qualified and if you put yourself in the buyer's shoes and in the seller's shoes, where they need to sell the house in a month, like they have to for relocation, for family, any purpose that it may be, and they get a cash offer for below asking, and it's a sure deal, or they get an offer above asking with a pre-approval and all the proof of funds and everything, which one would you choose, right? So you need to put yourself in the seller's shoes. It helps determine your range. It gives you leverage in a multiple offer situation, and it gives you the confidence to know what you offer, you'll be able to move through with. Now, there's a contract that typically works with agents, and it's called the buyer agency contract. And all my clients after this presentation typically would agree that, okay, if we're going to work together, we're going to get this done. So what I do is I send them updates on all the properties that match what you want. And I can set that up on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, on an as soon as possible basis. So as soon as the property hits the market, it'll come and it'll give you an alert through an email, or it's called the portal. I explain again the list to sales price ratio. I'll be giving them the feedback sheets, and then we talk about other strategies in case it doesn't work. So one of these that we go over is if there are too many homes that just don't fit, we'll look at some expired withdrawn properties that maybe tried to sell about 2 years ago. They might be able to get more than what they were asking for back then, and we might be able to get it for cheaper than what we're currently looking at. So that's a small strategy that I implement with my buyers as well. Now, how does the buyer agent get paid? I get paid by the seller typically. So yes, you pay the fees and it gets routed and it goes from the seller's contribution. Not all websites are accurate with their data. I go over some of the internet stuff. I'm doing this a little bit quicker just to show you. And what I'll point out is I have a couple of videos on my channel where Zillow has the completely wrong property. I was showing a property the other day, and the Zillow said that the property was asking 700,000. And when I looked on the MLS, there was actually a price reduction. So they were asking for 675,000. So that's $25,000 difference there. And that's why I send properties directly from the MLS, the multiple listing service. Now, for sale by owners and new construction, I ask them to call me first. So that way I can vet and see what's going on. I'll be able to guide you in the process. So even if you want to go and purchase a for sale by owner or a new construction, we can do that. We'll talk to them. They typically will pay our fees, but they represent the seller. So what you want to make sure is that you don't ask the barber if you need a haircut. You tell them that you want a specific kind of haircut, because they're always going to try to push you into their terms. So that's what's important. It's the representation, calling me first, and letting me be a consultant, help you out here with this. Now, the home purchase roadmap. This is one of my favorite things. Well, there's a couple of steps. There's about 8 steps for any transaction. And the first one is that we get the pre-approval. We determine the range. We actually find that house. So we're going to be doing all the showings. We're going to submit these offers specifically with the terms that are important to you. So you need to determine what terms are you willing to offer. So whether you're willing to offer X amount above appraisal, allowing them to leave furniture in the house if they're relocating. So you need to find out, where are you flexible so we can make the best offer we can that might not have to be financial. Then there will be an earnest money deposit that will be cashed. This isn't just going to be held on to, they're going to cash in. After that, we're going to do the inspection. We don't want to step over dollar bills, picking up pennies with these inspections. This inspection is for major items, and I'll explain why. At the end, I offer 2 hours of a handyman service. So you can grab that punch list of items and get the small things fixed. Any of the big items, that foundation issues, roof, that maybe we didn't know that are a deal breaker, this is the time to know. Now, we're going to continue, and we're gonna try to get the appraisal. The appraisal is a justification of the price. So that way, if you're getting a loan, you know what the price is worth. The funding. So the most important thing with funding is that you submit your forms as soon as possible. Once you're able to submit these forms, we're able to move along the process. We don't want to delay the closing just because we haven't submitted our W-2s or any of these forms that they're needing. Sometimes if you have a common name, they'll ask for a signed affidavit. And then once all that is good, you get the keys. We're going to go to that closing day. Now, shopping for your home. Typical home buyer looks at about 5 homes in a buyer's market. Now, in a seller's market, it goes a little bit high. So we're seeing that between 5 and 8 homes before you find the right one. And the most important thing for us to be able to find this home is to get your feedback. So the more that I know and I can understand what's important to you, the quicker we are to find that home for you. Now, this is a list of some of the professionals in a transaction. You have your quarterback, the real estate agent. You have the title company or attorney. You have a lender, the inspector, the appraiser. They'll send a surveyor to find out what are the boundaries of the property. And then before closing, we'll want to talk to an insurance agent so that the home is insured. Now, purchase contract. This is what I mentioned before. We want to have your terms ready before we submit an offer. So if we need to move quickly, we can. All right, so the one that we use is the standard form approved by the Real Estate Commission, the as-is contract. And I just move a little bit more into, okay, this is the earnest money that you're gonna write with the offer. We'll submit it. It gets submitted to a third party, so it doesn't go directly to the seller. And it should be about 2% of the total offer. So this is what you want to put down, and you can do this in draws. So if you don't want to put down 2% all at once, you can do in the first 3 days, there is a deposit. After the inspection, there's a deposit. After the appraisal, there's a deposit. So all that is negotiable, and we'll be able to do that. Inspecting your home, it's for major items only. We have a list of inspectors that we recommend if you need it. Now, appraising your home. The great thing about this is that you're going to be able to know what the bank expects you to be able to pay. So, or what the justification is for that price. They're going to look at a bunch of data, closed homes from long ago, and it costs about $400. So this is something that the buyer does pay. And the best part is you won't overpay unless you choose to do so. Loan approval. Make sure that once we get under contract, you do not pull credit or do any large purchases. This can damage your credit. And please make sure you submit the documents that they request as soon as possible so we can have a full loan commitment. And this is a great, great thing. We can have a reason to celebrate. Okay, then title. Title becomes yours. So now that seller transfers the title of ownership to you. This is great. Bring your ID. The title company will tell you exactly what to bring that day of. There'll be a bunch of paper to sign, but you're a homeowner. This is a list of some of the things that I will be doing as your realtor. And I take the client-centric approach. So I surround my client with a team so that way we can see what is needed and try to give you the best service we can. Now, my goal is for you to have the best price, fewest hassles in the time frame that you desire. And one of the lifebloods of my business is referrals and testimonials. So who do you know from work, social media, church, anything like that, that might need to buy a home, sell a house, or invest in real estate? So if you find out, can you give me a call? And then it's very, very beneficial if you give me a testimonial. So could I count on you for a testimonial? Now, added value, you get 2 hours of a handyman service after closing that they will come and fix everything for 2 hours. You can choose to pay them a little bit more, but 2 hours are on me. You have my love it or leave it guarantee. So if you don't absolutely love the home in 6 months after you purchase it, I'll sell it for free. So I will not charge you a dime, but you will have to pay for the buyer's representation. Now, you'll also have access to our network of vendors. We've been building a list over the last couple of years of people that we see that have worked well. And I donate to a charity of your choice to help make this world better. So you get to decide a charity without conflict of interest, and I'll be able to donate there. And all this is included for free. So that's a good understanding of the buyer process and working with me. Sorry. Working with me. So if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me. And yeah, I'm always available. Call, text, and until next time.